knowing what to do. I couldn't believe that I moved to the United States for just to work, trade my time for money.
Hello and welcome to Investrio's podcast, Money Chat with Friends. Today I have a special guest with me, Masha Petrova from @Masha Challenge on Instagram. She is an expert fitness coach, fitness influencer, and a personal friend, and I'm so excited to have her here today to talk about money with me. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I'm so excited to share with the world. I mean, we've had conversations for years at this point about money, about how to improve our lives. And I'm just so excited to have you here and share your expertise with our audience.
Thank you. Well, it's actually so true. Every single time we get together or talk on the phone, money is the number one topic that comes up. I try to get all of the knowledge from Joyce. The goal is to be financially free, especially being a first generation immigrant. And I grew up without having education on finances, or I used to think that investing and having a lot of money is just for rich. But when I moved to the United States, just like many of immigrants I think can relate, we all have a goal of following that American dream. And the American dream, in my opinion, is having plenty of money and achieving that financial freedom.
Yeah. So tell me what it's like. So, I mean, tell me what it was like coming to America and what happened? How did you even get started as an entrepreneur?
Oh my God, that's a very long story.
Give us the recap.
I'll give you the shortest recap. I moved to the United States 15 years ago, all by myself with $300, just a ticket on a plane and a visa that was for 3 months. Long story short, 15 years later, I like to joke that I still have $300. I'm joking, in my checking account. The rest is in my investment. So
that's right. Boom.
So it took me some time actually to find my true passion, my true calling. And I didn't grow up working out or playing sports. In fact, I had, quite a few health issues, and I never felt strong, or, I never felt safe even working out. So not till the middle, I would say I only started working out when I was in my mid-20s, and I fell in love with fitness instantly.
So what was the gym like at that point? It must have been very different.
So different. Well, I started with taking group classes, and then soon I realized that it was simply not enough. I had this idea of how I actually want to look. I always had a dream of looking like the girls on fitness magazines, but not too strong, just feminine enough, but nice and lean, flat stomach, strong legs. Like, I had this ambition, and I knew I could achieve that as well. So I started doing a little bit of research on bodybuilding, all of those websites, and I was definitely one of the very few women in the weights room. Right now, it's very different. 10 years later, yeah, you step into the gym, and it's actually such a proud feeling to see so many more women just lifting weights, pushing themselves, squatting, deadlifting, doing pull-ups, push-ups, like feeling not just equal, but nice and strong. So it was very different when I first started lifting, and it was just me and maybe one other female in the weights area, and the female that would be in the weights area is typically in the fitness bikini, someone who competes.
Right. Now it's so different. And then what made you want to go into fitness coaching, and what made you pivot, right?
So truly, I fell in love with working out, and soon after, I started noticing my own changes, and I loved how my body started to transform. And other girls in the gym simply started reaching out for help and tips. And that's when somebody was like, "Why don't you just become a fitness coach already? You're so good at it." And I was truly tortured by not knowing what to do. I couldn't believe that I moved to the United States for just to work, trade my time for money, and have no passion. It was slowly killing me on the inside. Maybe sounds dramatic, but I don't know if you can relate, because when I was growing up, there was a belief of talking about money or having a lot of it is a bad thing. There was very little information and, I would say, education on topic of money. The goal for me right now, being a first generation immigrant in America, is to achieve financial freedom, feel really confident in what I do, and simply learn how to make money work for me.
Yeah, I love that. And if you're watching and you're first generation immigrant, investor, college grad, you're not alone. So am I. So is Masha. And there's so many of us. Place for us to talk about money openly, right? It shouldn't be taboo. And it's funny because we're from very different places, like Eastern Europe versus South America. And the topic of money is taboo in both places, right? So what was it like coming to America and starting all over and learning about money in a different system?
The number one reason why most of the immigrants come to United States is it's the country of opportunities. I was just simply looking for my kind of opportunity. It was definitely not just trading your time for money, doing, beginning type of jobs. Like I started with waitressing and babysitting, and it took a while till I actually found my passion, what I currently do, being a fitness coach. For the longest time, it was lack of knowledge and simply trading time for money. Going to work, making a little bit of money, not knowing how to improve your credit, how to not mess it up. I've always thought that investing is for those who already have a lot of money. In my head, it was something unattainable.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted to change that.
No, and I think that's a great segment for our next question. I think a lot of people think that investing is for those who have a lot. The reality is you need to invest to have a lot, to get a lot, right? To grow your money. Tell me more about your journey in, starting your business, going through a whole new coaching plan on how to become a coach and growing online and making it.
Great question, actually, because I always had the entrepreneur side of me, I think, since I was really young, and I never wanted to work for anyone ever in my life. But unfortunately, had the experience of having to go through that phase, and now being my own boss for the past 6 years, fully 7 years actually. And I've been in the fitness industry for 10 years at this point. I had the experience of working for a big box gym, and that was not for me. Going fully online with my coaching business, with my coaching services, and helping women achieve their dream bodies without having to go into the studio to train them. But to be honest with you, there is so much. I know that becoming an entrepreneur is such a hot topic, but I don't think a lot of people realize the amount of hard work or the struggle that it comes with and the amount of question marks, because you truly need full guidance.
What investments did you make to get to where you are, right? And it was, you mentioned mentors, coaches, but tell me more.
The sooner you can find someone who can help you get there from point A to point B, the better. So if you have anyone around you, or if you can afford to hire a mentor, definitely do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. I tried it on my own. I tried to create my business from scratch on my own, and there are just too many, too many closed doors that you need to really understand how to open. Never be too cheap or too scared to invest into your own personal growth, right? Or your business growth. Like, you have to search for it. Don't spend too long searching for a mentor.
Yes.
Don't just sit and look and wait and compare. The most successful people make decisions fast. You need to see at least what's the worst that can happen.
Learn and apply always. We were recently networking with some other entrepreneurs, and I remember you saying it to somebody, what are you going to do with all this information now? And I remember just seeing the person's face like, well, I'm going to go home and do it. And it's great to see that kind of action on people, because you're so right. Like, you can invest in a ton of mentors, coaching, a financial coach, or an advisor who will ask you and tell you to do things, and then if you don't do it, what's the point, right? You will end up just kind of wasting your own time and resources, really, at the end of the day. But it's so important to see how, like, those mentors really helped you navigate and helped you scale your business. So now you're full-time online coaching. Some of us are lucky to work with her in person, but it's a really successful online entrepreneurial journey, and a lot of people are seeing this as like, wow, can I do it too? Maybe you can shed some light into, like, what made you want to do that in the first place.
It might seem like something far away, right? Whatever idea you have in your mind, whoever it is that you're trying to be. You can become it. You just need to not be afraid. If you're a woman and you are intimidated, like trust me, it's such a cool feeling. It's only scary to start lifting, maybe for the first like couple of weeks. It takes a couple of months to actually start seeing results. I guarantee you're gonna fall in love. You'll never want to undo that. It's gonna become a part of your life. A year to 2 years mark, you can completely transform your physique, no matter where you're at.
And we just did an event with your clients, right? Where we did the financially fit female, and we talked about this. There's so many similarities between money and fitness, and we've learned them through like working together in the past few years. It's like nutrition, right? If you want to lose weight or save money, you have to follow a budget or a diet. It's very, very similar in those things, and it's small, scalable actions that build up over time, right? That like build that muscle, that build your wealth, that gets you out of debt, that gets you in a really good shape. They're so similar, and I love how we did this event with your clients, and I think they found a lot of value in that.
They loved it, and this is so true. Like I always like to give an example to my clients, and this when I like to mention something about your coaching services and your product. You might not want to track calories, but calories always count. So if you have a goal, you're simply leaving money on the table by not doing it. You're already eating healthy, you might as well just track and see how much closer you're truly getting to your goal. The same with wanting to buy $1 million house, you're not tracking your finances, you're getting some money in, but if you're spending a lot more, how much closer are you getting? So tracking and learning how to make it towards your own benefit.
Curious to hear too, as a solopreneur, where do you see yourself in like 5 years or 10 years down the road? Where would you like to be financially, or even with your business?
I love this question. This actually gets me thinking. I love to grow my company to a point where we offer several services, right? Several products, digital products and physical products, like branded things like swag. Anyways, I would definitely love to expand, and I could see myself being completely financially free within the next 10 years.
Yeah, I can
Would
absolutely
you like to hear some numbers? This is probably the most money that I've made personally being online, and I could never imagine it being the case. So if you're in person, your potential depends what state you're in. If you're an in-person trainer, I'll just give you some examples. You can maybe be making anywhere from like $5,000 to $8,000 if you're good at what you do, if you have a high ticket offer. But if you're online, a lot of coaches, when they first start, they maybe make $2,000 online, maybe. Also, if you're good. I was able to replace my already successful full-time income by stepping into online, but only because I also hired a mentor who was able to show me the systems and to help me organize simply how to be a better coach for my clients.
I love to hear them, and I think it all comes down to, what does financially free mean to you?
I think financially free to me is, first of all, knowing that my family can have absolutely everything that they need or want. I do believe in living within your means, but I also want to be able to enjoy all the beautiful things life actually has to offer. Life should be expensive. You should feel good about having an expensive life. It feels good to go buy something, recognize the price of it, right? But also appreciate the value. If you feel good about it, you can afford it. The fact that you can afford an expensive item in your life or an expensive treat, it should feel good. Money, abundance is such a mindset. If you don't have it yet, it's just like any other muscle. You can actually work on it and you can develop it by listening to the podcast, getting yourself a mentor, or simply just reading books on finances. I'm huge in manifesting and just writing out my own goals for the future. And I found some journals from like 5 years ago and 3 years ago, and the numbers I put down for income, like it's funny to see because I've definitely increased that and more. That just shows that if you know what you want, you're moving in the right direction. dream bigger, because it's
Love
all
that.
up to you. It's achievable.
I love that. And if our ladies and gentlemen are watching this, because Masha does work with both women and men, where should they reach you, and how can they get some access to your services, your fitness tips, your nutrition tips, and so much more?
Perfect. You can find me on Instagram. It's Masha Challenge. Now it became a part of the brand, and my coaching brand is Body Goals.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here
Thank
today
you.
and sharing your wealth of knowledge with our audience. If you'd like to reach out, please do on Instagram. We'll put the URL here for you as well. And don't forget to sign up for Investrio's waitlist and newsletter. Our product is coming out in just a quick week, so you want to make sure that you are already registered. And I'll see you soon.